So with the Russian community, it's a very diverse community and it's very mixed because there are a number of cultural waves, there are a number of migration waves that have happened in the Russian community. We can look at two main ones, say. One is the newly arrived migrants who have come in the last, say, 10 or 15 years, and they've come from the Soviet Union, Russia, where they're not used to capitalism.
Yeah.
There's no real formal gambling there, it's all very hidden. So they come here, they're exposed to capitalism, and they're exposed and they want to do well economically. And so there's this pressure on them and they get exposed to this thing. And they're concerned about their children as well, who are exposed to smartphones and games and things like that on the internet. And then there's the established community who have been here for a long time, and they're more religious than the community that have only recently come. And there's this huge stigma, but there's also this huge social isolation. So because of these two things that have mixed in, they get exposed to gambling, unfortunately. And both groups don't have much support.
Yeah.
There's this great taboo, it'd be great to have a lot more support for the community, but unfortunately there aren't. And they don't realise until they jump into the deep end and get exposed to it all. They think it's just a little bit of fun. Yes, absolutely. They get isolated even further because they're exposed to this and they think that they're going to be ostracised by the community. Gambling is a killer, really, because in the Russian community, there have been people that have lost their lives because of it. There are people that have lost their houses because of it. And it's interesting. Some people know about it, and it's sort of this sort of hidden secret that is there, but even the families don't seek out help. And it needs to be really encouraged a lot more than it is. Look, going forward, it's the young people because they get this clickbait on their phones. It's not even gambling yet, but I think is getting them used to that, and we'll be getting them used to that. But the elderly are very exposed to it. We try, both in the church and in the community organisation where I work, we try and provide social activities that we don't go to the Crown Casino and we don't go to the pokies. So we try and attempt. But even middle-aged people, even people that are working, the stress, we heard in today's forum, the stresses of just providing for your family, the stresses of life, and you just want to break out and you just want a day out somewhere. And often families and young couples, that's what they do. Yeah. Absolutely not. Neither of the waves of migration, and the two that I mentioned are the two main ones, but there are others. There are Russian brides that are very, very isolated, economic migrants that come here for a better opportunity. But all of those, they're insular in their own way, and it's just because of the taboos and because of the lack of connectedness in the community and the outreach of the gambling help services, they just can't get those sorts of ports of call and assistance, I don't think. Well, apart from totally banning it, which I don't think is going to happen, I think diversional activities for the whole community, for the most elderly to the youngest people, and also putting it out there that gambling is a product that is harmful, right? Having a lot more of this, doesn't have to be direct advertising even, it's just this community development and capacity building, showing that gambling is a harmful product, and the gambling companies, they actually target people who are vulnerable in their advertising, and they know it's a harmful product like smoking is and like drugs are.